Hello there and welcome back to the channel. My name is Aiden H Talks, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Today we are reviewing Elemental, Disney and Pixar's newest movie, and I just gotta say I was not expecting to cry. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but there I was in the theater all by myself crying and liking it as much as I did. So let's go ahead and get into the review. Elemental, rated PG, 2023 release, hour 43 minutes. You're in and you're out. 75% critic score, 91% audience score. Now I just gotta say before I get into the review, I'm very split down the middle between the critic score and the audience score. I'll get into my rating later, but I just had to say that. Disney and Pixar's Elemental, an all-new original feature film set in Element City, where fire, water, land, and air residents live together. The story introduces Ember, a tough, quick-witted, and fiery young woman whose friendship with a fun, sappy, go-with-the-flow guy named Wade challenges her beliefs about the world they live in. Now look, I'm a sucker for a rom-com about two characters that are polar opposites that you just want to see be together by the end of the movie. You want to see them because they have that chemistry, they have that spark between them two. But the whole movie, they're constantly driving away and they're teasing you a little bit. And this is exactly what this movie is, and I loved it so much. The characters are so lovable, and that is just elevated by the voice acting in this movie. It's top tier, and a standout is definitely Leah Lewis, the voice of Ember. Most of the moments that I was sitting there crying over, most of the moments that I was sitting there getting so choked up and emotional came strictly from her and the way she delivers these lines. I can't stress enough that she did fantastic. Leah Lewis, hats off to you. But even just the direction that they took these characters, everything with the two families and how they're just not supposed to be together, fire and water, everyone knows that does not mix well. It just made the movie so engaging. I was invested from the jump. I double featured today. I watched Flash at 3 and I watched Elementals at 9 p.m. So I was feeling a little bit tired as the trailers were playing, but as soon as the movie starts, I was fully in and I was awake the whole time in this movie, just experiencing this beautiful world that is Element City, and that wonderful ride, the visual cluster that I was just sitting through for a quick hour 45. I enjoyed every single second of it. I also want to praise the creativity in this. Like, Ember does a lot of cool things with metal and like sand. So she'll like grab a whole bunch of sand and forge it into glass. And they use that for every single element. So we have land, fire, water, and air. Each element has their own little creative quirk that they do. Like at one moment in the movie, a cloud blows into the water so that she can create an air bubble so that Ember can travel through the water. It's just so fascinating. And that's one out of many and many things that they do in this movie that just shows that they put so much love and care into this. And for that, I can only say good things about it. You can tell when movies put effort, you can tell when movies put love into their characters, into the world they're creating. And with some of the movies we've been getting lately and some franchise movies, you can tell that that is a missing element. No pun intended. If I were to talk about anything negative about this movie or any quarrels I had, it's just that sometimes it feels like, okay, this movie isn't made for me. I'm not the target audience. I'm a 20-year-old watching this movie at 9 p.m. in a theater full of parents with their kids, taking them to watch a Disney Pixar movie. I am not the target audience. However, even though it's a negative thing, even though that's a quarrel I had with the movie, I will say some of the themes in this movie and some of the themes that they juggle and play around with are so hard hitting. There's themes that people need to talk about more, and some even resonated with me. Ember's dad wants her to grow up and take over the family shop. He wants her to own the business. And so throughout the film, she's struggling with if she wants to do this, if this is what her calling is. And so she struggles with that, and it leads to her temper flaring up a lot. And so she's struggling with if she wants to live out her father's dream or if she wants to pursue what she actually loves to do. And so being trapped and being binded to this shop for her whole life, and then as she gets older, realizing that this isn't what she wants to do, it was something that was very beautiful to explore, because there's been times where I've felt like that as well. The movie also juggles some themes of discrimination, and I thought they handled it perfectly. Like, they never went over the top, and it was never at the sacrifice of the movie's story and what they were trying to tell with these two characters. And so overall, it just worked so well. Everything meshed together beautifully, and it made for a very entertaining and very fun story. They appealed to all age groups with this film. Some kids might not be able to grasp that element. It might just be a fun, cartoony love story to them. But for older audiences that are trying to catch new 2023 releases or taking their kids, they have something to feast on as well. And it just makes it feel so complete to me. So if you're on the fence about watching Elemental, or if you're gonna go watch it, I hope I primed you up the right way. You can expect a beautiful story. You can expect something in there for all ages. And visually, you can expect to be blown away. So with that being said, this movie checks off all the right boxes for me. I gave it a score of an 84 out of 100. It falls as my 9th favorite movie of the year. And this is pretty insane because we've had 4 big releases this week: Elemental, Flash, The Blackening, and Extraction 2. And right now it's looking like Flash might be the lowest rated for me. Granted, I'm not seeing The Blackening until Monday, and I'm about to watch Extraction 2 right now. So when I do my Extraction 2 review, we'll see how that all goes. But regardless, this week was such a success. I mean, I've had 2 movies so far break my top 15, 1 break my top 10. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. And if you're interested to see any of my reviews for this week, next week, or the months following, be sure to check out the page, Words from the Nerds Podcast, Aiden H Talks on Letterboxd. Everything will be in the link in the bio. And without further ado, that's my review. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.